Hi everyone, it's Jody from An Eye for Beauty. Today is Sunday, June 28th, 2020, and this is the weekly oracle reading for that week or whenever you see the message. Know that whenever you see this message, it could be now, it could be a week from now, it could be a year from now. Whenever Spirit has you watch this message is because there is something in this message today that you need to hear. So I ask you to just open your ears, put your listening ears on with no judgment and see what comes through. Maybe it's something that you need to hear to help empower you, to help inspire you, or maybe for some kind of a healing. And that's why I do these messages. So before I begin, I just want to share with you, you can watch them on Instagram or you can watch them on Facebook, which is through my YouTube channel. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do so that you can see all of the messages, the weekly messages that I do, as well as anytime there's a message that comes through that I feel this like I need to share it kind of a feeling, then that's when I share those messages. And you can always find them on YouTube, so please make sure to subscribe. Okay, so today's message is coming from Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael works with God. And he is the archangel, the top archangel of strength, of courage, and of protection. And if you're watching this during the week of June 28th, or pretty much around that time, we're still in craziness in our world, chaos, whatever you want to call it. Yes, we are getting back to normal a little bit, but we really don't know what's going on. And so I felt like we need Archangel Michael. I like to think of Archangel Michael as an angelic bodyguard. So we need him today. So if you're listening to this message, that means that you should be inviting him in. I will remind you again, or if this is your first time watching, I will let you know that we as a human being have free will. And the angels want to help us, but we have to give them permission. So I invite you to invite Archangel Michael into your world, into your life all the time, every single day, to help you with strength, if you need strength in a situation, to help you with courage in a situation, to help you with protection in a situation, and especially with what's been going on in our world. I have been talking to him a lot more than I always talk to him anyway. But I've been talking to him a lot more because I feel I need the protection. I feel I need the courage sometimes to go in crowds because I feel I'm an empath and I feel a lot of the energy that's going on. Sometimes I feel so much that it's making me dizzy. So if you're a person who is empathic, whether it's feelings or you're a physical empath, you might be feeling dizzy as well. And know that you're not alone because I'm feeling it too. And I know that a lot of light workers are feeling it as well. So I'm going to show you the cards. You have the option to just listen to the whole message and take what you need, whatever resonates, and then let go of the rest. Or you can choose 1, 2, or 3. So we have card number 1, we have card number 2, and we have card number 3. So we also have a 4th card. Okay, but this card is for everybody, and this is like the theme of the card. As I was shuffling the cards, this card fell out, so we're really going to begin with this card, and this is the most powerful card in this deck. And this card is God is in charge. So take a minute to look at that card. Okay, God is in charge. And I'm going to read to you what it says on the bottom. Dear God, please help me let go of this situation, giving it faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone involved. So I want you to think about that for a second. God is in charge. We are going to start with your personal life. If there is an area, a relationship, maybe your job, a thought pattern you have, a simple one for me to bring up right now is like, I don't have enough money in the bank. Whatever is going on in your personal life, maybe you can recite that prayer daily. Let me put it up again, so maybe you can take a screenshot. okay? You want to start calling in God more so than ever. And just a side note, we want to start talking to God more, not just when we need something, okay? So God is in charge. God is always in charge. So maybe start talking to God a little bit more. But if you're going through something in your personal life, this is a perfect opportunity for you to step up and start talking to God, understanding that God is in charge, and understanding that sometimes when we go through things, it's because, there's something going on that's going to show us itself on the other side. We just don't know what it is yet. And in that uncomfortable space, because it feels uncomfortable, you have to believe and you have to trust that God would never let you suffer. And when you have that belief and that trust and an understanding of that, you'll see that that's the case. That is for personal. But we have to touch upon what's going on right now in this world. It's very important to understand God is in charge. And I wish that this message gets to as many people as it needs to, and hopefully you get that. At the end of the day, the creator of this world is in charge. You might ask, why did he let a flu happen or a pandemic, or, why, I don't know. That's basically what's going on right now. What's coming to me is a lot of people hate our president. Why is he our president? There's a reason. I don't care if you're a liberal. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. You'll never know what I am, because that's not what this teaching is about. It is important for you to understand that we are all, every single one of us, God's child. And God has chosen one person to lead the country. And right now, you may agree with him or you may not agree with him, but what I am asking you to do is to have respect for him, which I am seeing none of. And it's very disheartening in this country to see that no one has respect for him. You don't have to like him. You have to respect him. And you have to understand that God put him there for a reason. So maybe instead, step back and try to understand what the reasoning is, even if you don't like him at all. There's a reason. And there is a reason for every single thing that we have been experiencing for the last 3 months. Maybe the reason is there is evil coming in, and are you getting sucked into the evil? Or are you allowing yourself to work through it or to step away from it? Or it's difficult. I'm not saying it's not. But it's something for you to really start to try to understand a little more, that you're not in control and I'm not in control. The only one that's in control is God. So that's the first and foremost, most important message here today. Now we're going to go to the cards. And we have card number 1. Explore your options. So you're in a space right now where you're not really sure what's happening, because we have this quarantine that we're in for 3 to 4 months, and we don't know when things are opening. And if you're not working yet, you don't know when you're going back to work. And maybe you've been sitting home for the last 3 or 4 months and saying, I don't really like what I was doing and I want to do something else. Maybe you are a child who is graduating from high school and you're ready to go into college, and it's time for you to start to explore your options. Actually, you would be a junior going into college in a year. Explore your options. Maybe you are someone who just wants to take on a new hobby. Explore your options. This time that we had, although it was definitely difficult for so many of us, if not all of us, what it gave us is the opportunity to be still with ourselves, to think, what do I want next? What's the next thing I want? When things start to open up again, how do I want to proceed in my life? How do I want to redevelop myself? Where do I want to put my focus? And this card is saying to you, you have other options. It's time for you to start exploring them. Even if you want to take a vacation, explore your options. What's the options with what's going on right now? So explore your options is an amazing card, because that leaves you open to so many different opportunities. So if you chose card number 1, definitely start diving into that, because you have the world and you can choose whatever it is that you want to do. Card number 2, use your imagination and you'll see the answer. So maybe there's something going on in your life right now and you are having a hard time with figuring out what is going on, why it's happening. You know, really the same thing. We keep talking about the same thing, but if in your own personal life, you're trying to figure out, use your imagination and you'll see the answer. Maybe in your life right now, what's happening is you're trying to figure something out, or you've been praying to God and his angels for some guidance. You're asking for signs, but the information or whatever it is that you receive makes no sense to you whatsoever. Maybe it's so far-fetched you don't even understand. Like, how does this even make sense? Well, what this card is suggesting to you is, and it's asking you, is to really like use your imagination, try to step out of the box or think outside of the box. And even though it makes no sense, there is a message coming through for you. So what I would invite you to do is maybe have a little notebook by your bedside, because maybe the messages are coming through dreams, or even if it's, you know, during the day. If something comes up, like, you'll know, you'll just have a sense that there is a message that is coming through, or there is a sign and you're being shown something. Start to just jot down notes. Start to see if there's a pattern as you start to do that. And what you will notice as you do that is that there is actually a message coming through. The angels are trying to guide you in some way. And when you take the time to notice the signs, is truly when, and believe, because that's very important. If you don't believe you're receiving signs, if you're constantly questioning, if your mind chatter is always talking, you won't see the signs. So give yourself the opportunity to notice the signs. You can also ask for the angels to show you a sign in a way that you understand. And then in doing so, start to take those notes and you'll see a pattern. So that's card number 2. Card number 3, a favorable outcome. So that's a great card. And with everything that we are dealing with right now in this world, it doesn't look so favorable. It doesn't look so great. And maybe you're going through something in your personal life and you're thinking it's not going to end well. But just know this too shall pass. And I have to remind myself of that also. So I'm not telling you something I'm not experiencing myself. There are things that we have to do right now. We are being told we have to wear a mask. We are being told we can't, you know, go into certain places with a lot of people. There's a lot of these new rules and regulations that we're trying to understand. And in my mind, I'm always thinking like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? But this card is just a reminder, even for me, that even though we're going through this now, this is not forever. And this too shall pass. And know that at the end of all of this, there is a favorable outcome. Right now, it doesn't look like it's that way. And maybe in your personal life, you're going through something or experiencing something and it does not look favorable. But if you chose card number 3, I want you to know that it's going to be. And again, in every single one of these cards, the most important step that you can take is to have faith, to trust in God, your creator, to believe that he would never let you suffer, and to know that he's in charge. And so just start to invite in God, the Archangel Michael, pray for guidance, pray for signs. And even in all of these cards, right, if we're going to put the deck together, first we know God's in charge. And you're going through something where you first need to explore your options, or maybe you already have started. Now, signs are starting to come through from the angels, from God, and you may not understand them. They may seem crazy, but you're being asked to use your imagination. Daydream. Use your imagination. We get so focused on the logical mind. Use that creative mind and start to use your imagination to understand what that possible outcome might be without trying to control it. And then finally, it will be a favorable outcome. sometimes the outcome is so favorable that we would have never even thought of it. And then when it happens, and I'm sure you can relate to this in your life, you stressed about something, you were unsure about something, and in hindsight, looking back, the outcome was far greater and better than you ever would have ever imagined. That's what this is telling us. So if we're going to look at this on a global level even, let's look at right now. This card deck is saying, like, you don't realize that the outcome is going to be favorable, but it's going to be. So what I invite you to do, if you're concerned about world events, call in God, call in Archangel Michael, ask him for strength and courage and protection. Continue to work with your angels, your guardian angels. Ask them for support, ask them for guidance, ask them for signs that you will understand, and know that there will be a favorable outcome. So I hope that this message served you today in any capacity, and I wish you a great week. Bye-bye.